she left her home for what she believed would be an exciting adventure, a solo journey across the American West Coast. However, she was never seen again after checking into a notorious hotel. What detectives eventually uncovered on her phone and the circumstances surrounding her disappearance shocked even the most seasoned and experienced investigators, revealing a mystery that continues to baffle experts and the public alike. The Cecil Hotel, located in the bustling heart of downtown Los Angeles, is not just any building. It possesses a long, dark, and deeply unsettling history. This infamous establishment seems to be a magnet for tragedy and inexplicable mystery, with countless dark tales and unexplained occurrences clinging to its very foundations, making it a place whispered about in hushed tones. Welcome to Crime Stories Podcast, your destination for in-depth explorations where real, often chilling, stories are meticulously uncovered to reveal the darkest and most complex corners of the human mind. Join us as we delve into cases that challenge understanding and leave lasting questions. Today, our journey takes us deep into the perplexing and tragic disappearance of Elisa Lam, a case that not only captivated global attention, but also continues to remain shrouded in a veil of unsettling questions and unresolved mysteries. Her story is one that has haunted many, leaving an indelible mark on the annals of true crime. Elisa Lam, a vibrant 21-year-old student hailing from British Columbia, Canada, embarked on what was meant to be an enriching solo trip across the American West Coast in the early months of 2013. This journey was a personal quest for adventure and self-discovery, a common rite of passage for many young adults seeking to explore new horizons and experience different cultures. She was widely known among her friends and family as an exceptionally adventurous and outgoing young woman, someone who embraced life with enthusiasm and curiosity. True to her nature, she meticulously documented her extensive travels, sharing her experiences and observations across various social media platforms, creating a digital diary of her journey for all to see. Her ambitious journey eventually brought her to the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles, a city of dreams and shadows. It was here, on January 26, 2013, that she checked into the infamous Cecil Hotel, an establishment with a reputation that preceded it, a place steeped in a history of dark events and unsettling occurrences. Adding another layer to her unfolding story, the Cecil Hotel, which had been rebranded as Stay on Main in an attempt to shed its notorious past, carried a heavy burden of dark history. This establishment was inextricably linked to a multitude of tragic events, including numerous suicides, brutal murders, and even served as a temporary residence for infamous serial killers like Richard Ramirez, whose presence further cemented its sinister reputation. Elisa maintained a diligent routine of daily contact with her family, a practice that provided them with reassurance and a sense of her well-being throughout her travels. However, this consistent communication abruptly and inexplicably ceased on January 31st, raising immediate and profound concerns among her loved ones, signaling that something was terribly wrong. Her parents, understandably growing increasingly concerned and distressed by the sudden silence, promptly contacted the Los Angeles Police Department. This urgent call initiated a formal missing person investigation, setting into motion a complex and challenging search for their daughter as authorities began to piece together her last known movements. In the initial stages of the investigation, police meticulously examined Elisa's hotel room, but found no discernible signs of foul play or forced entry. This lack of immediate evidence left them with very few concrete leads, making the early search efforts particularly challenging and frustrating for the detectives assigned to the perplexing case. As days turned into weeks with no sign of Elisa, the search efforts intensified dramatically, shifting their focus squarely onto the hotel itself. The Cecil Hotel, a sprawling and labyrinthine structure, presented a formidable challenge with its hundreds of rooms, intricate corridors, and countless hidden corners, each potentially concealing a clue or a secret. Detectives meticulously combed through every single floor, systematically searching every closet and scrutinizing every public area within the vast and complex hotel. Despite their exhaustive and painstaking efforts, Elisa Lam was nowhere to be found, leaving investigators increasingly baffled and the family in agonizing suspense. The case took a profoundly bizarre and unexpected turn when the Los Angeles Police Department publicly released surveillance footage captured from one of the hotel's elevators. This crucial video, recorded on February 1, 2013, would soon become a central and highly debated piece of evidence, adding a new layer of mystery to Elisa's disappearance. This particular piece of footage, spanning nearly 4 minutes in duration, depicted Elisa Lam exhibiting an extremely erratic and deeply unsettling pattern of behavior. Her actions within the confined space of the elevator were perplexing, raising immediate questions about her state of mind and the circumstances surrounding her final moments captured on camera. The video showed Elisa entering the elevator, where she then proceeded to press multiple floor buttons in a seemingly random fashion. Following this, she appeared to retreat and hide in the corner of the elevator car, peering out cautiously as if she believed someone was actively pursuing her, creating a chilling sense of paranoia and fear. Despite her repeated and increasingly frantic attempts to close them, the elevator doors inexplicably remained open, refusing to respond to her commands. This malfunction, or perhaps something more sinister, added another layer of mystery to her already perplexing behavior, leaving viewers to wonder why the doors would not obey. After her unsuccessful attempts to close the doors, she then stepped out into the hallway, where she began to gesticulate wildly, her arms flailing in an agitated manner. At one point, she appeared to be engaged in an intense conversation, seemingly talking to an unseen individual or entity, further deepening the enigma of her actions. Following her strange interaction in the hallway, she re-entered the elevator briefly, only to step out once more. Then, she vanished completely from the frame of the surveillance camera, disappearing from view. Moments later, the elevator doors finally closed behind her, sealing off her last known movements and leaving an unsettling void. This highly unusual and widely circulated footage quickly ignited a firestorm of speculation across the internet and media, fueling countless theories. These ranged from suggestions of paranormal activity within the notoriously haunted hotel to more grounded, yet equally disturbing, hypotheses of foul play, with many believing she was not alone. Many observers and armchair detectives speculated extensively about her mental state, as it was publicly known that Elisa had a history of bipolar disorder. However, her family and medical records indicated that she was reportedly stable and diligently adhering to her prescribed medication regimen, making her erratic behavior even more puzzling. Meanwhile, amidst the unfolding mystery of Elisa's disappearance, guests staying at the Cecil Hotel began to voice increasingly frequent and concerning complaints. Their grievances primarily centered around unusually low water pressure and, more disturbingly, the strange, unpleasant taste of the water emanating from the hotel's taps, creating an uncomfortable and unsanitary environment. Then, on February 19, 2013, nearly 3 agonizing weeks after Elisa Lam was last seen alive, a hotel maintenance worker was dispatched to investigate the persistent complaints about the water. It was during this routine inspection that he made a horrifying and utterly unexpected discovery, one that would send shockwaves through the investigation and the public. In response to the mounting complaints from guests regarding the hotel's water supply, the maintenance worker ascended to the hotel's rooftop. There, he found 4 massive industrial water tanks, which were responsible for supplying the entire building with water. His task was to inspect these tanks for any issues that might explain the strange water quality. Inside one of these colossal water tanks, amidst the murky water, the maintenance worker made the grim and shocking discovery. Floating face up, tragically, was the naked body of Elisa Lam. This revelation was not only deeply disturbing, but also raised immediate and profound questions about how she could have possibly ended up in such an inaccessible and unlikely location. The discovery of Elisa Lam's body was profoundly shocking, not merely because of the macabre location where she was found, but also due to the sheer impossibility of how she could have possibly gotten there. The circumstances surrounding her presence in the water tank defied logical explanation, deepening the already complex mystery of her death. Access to the hotel's rooftop was strictly restricted, typically requiring a specific key or a deliberate bypass of multiple security measures, making unauthorized entry extremely difficult. Furthermore, the water tank itself was a formidable structure, standing several feet tall and encased in a protective cage, rendering it exceptionally challenging for anyone to reach, let alone enter. Adding to the perplexing nature of the discovery, the lid of the water tank was incredibly heavy and cumbersome. It would have presented a significant physical challenge for even a strong individual to open and close, especially from the inside. This detail further complicated the official narrative, making it difficult to reconcile with the idea of a solo, accidental entry. The official autopsy report, after careful examination, ultimately listed the cause of death as accidental drowning. However, it also noted that Elisa's bipolar disorder was considered a significant contributing factor to the circumstances surrounding her death, suggesting her mental state played a role in the tragic events that unfolded. Crucially, the autopsy revealed no signs of physical trauma, sexual assault, or any indication of a struggle on Elisa's body. This absence of external injuries or evidence of a violent encounter only served to further deepen the mystery surrounding her death, leaving investigators and the public with more questions than answers about her final moments. The central question that continued to baffle investigators and the public alike was how Elisa, a young woman reportedly experiencing a manic episode, could have managed to access the highly restricted rooftop, then climb into the formidable water tank, and subsequently drown without any apparent struggle or external intervention. The sequence of events seemed to defy logic and physical possibility. The official explanation provided by authorities, despite the autopsy findings, left a significant portion of the public and many investigators deeply unsatisfied. This widespread dissatisfaction inevitably led to a surge of alternative theories, as people sought more comprehensive and believable answers to the many lingering questions surrounding Elisa Lam's tragic death. Among the various theories, some strongly suggested foul play, firmly believing that someone else was directly involved in her death. These proponents argued that Elisa did not enter the tank willingly or accidentally, but rather was forced into it, perhaps even by an unknown assailant, making her death a homicide rather than an accident. The unsettling elevator footage, in particular, served as a powerful catalyst for these suspicions of foul play. Many viewers interpreted Elisa's erratic and fearful behavior in the video as clear evidence that she was actively trying to escape from someone or something that was pursuing her, adding a chilling dimension to the narrative. Other theories veered into the supernatural, with some individuals pointing to the hotel's long and dark history of unexplained phenomena. They suggested a paranormal influence or even a malevolent presence within the Cecil Hotel itself, believing that such forces could have played a role in Elisa's bizarre behavior and ultimate demise. The Cecil Hotel had, for decades, been inextricably associated with a multitude of unexplained phenomena and a long list of tragic events, earning it a reputation as one of the most haunted locations in Los Angeles. This dark history made it an irresistible magnet for such paranormal theories, drawing in those who sought supernatural explanations for the inexplicable. Adding another layer of eerie coincidence to the case, the tragic events surrounding Elisa Lam also drew striking comparisons to the 2005 horror film Dark Water. The movie features a plot that is remarkably similar to Elisa's fate, involving a mysterious death in a water tank, a detail that many found unsettlingly prescient and deeply disturbing. This uncanny coincidence between Elisa Lam's real-life tragedy and the fictional horror film only served to amplify the mystique and intensify the public's already fervent fascination with the case. It blurred the lines between reality and fiction, making the story even more compelling and unsettling for those who followed its developments. Despite the official ruling of accidental drowning, a multitude of critical questions continue to plague the investigation and the public's understanding of Elisa Lam's final moments. The case remains riddled with ambiguities, leaving many aspects of her tragic end shrouded in uncertainty and unresolved mystery, defying a complete and satisfying explanation. How did she manage to gain access to the highly secured rooftop without being noticed by anyone, or without triggering any alarms? Why did the elevator doors, which she repeatedly tried to close, inexplicably refuse to function properly during her erratic behavior? And what truly transpired in the dark, confined space of that water tank during her final, desperate moments? The tragic and perplexing death of Elisa Lam stands as a chilling and stark reminder of the inherent vulnerabilities we all face, even when we believe ourselves to be in seemingly secure and protected environments. Her story underscores the fragility of life and the unexpected dangers that can emerge from the most unlikely of places, leaving a lasting impression on all who hear it. It is a story that continues to haunt the collective consciousness, a complex and incomplete puzzle with far too many missing pieces. The case of Elisa Lam leaves us perpetually pondering the profound darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday life, challenging our perceptions of safety and reality, and reminding us of the mysteries that often remain unsolved. This has been another compelling episode of Crime Stories Podcast. If you are captivated by real crime stories and the intricate details of unsolved mysteries, we invite you to subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Join us again tomorrow for another gripping episode as we continue to explore the darkest corners of human experience.